Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing part 2 of this video series doing Crafter's Square Unicorn. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So in part 1, you guys, we had built step 1 and step 2, which is the head and the body. Today we're going to be completing everything. We're going to be doing steps 1, 3, and 4. I am going to be doing one crochet leg, and for the sake of the timing of the video, I'm going to do the other 4 off camera, and then we're going to come back, do the other steps, and then we're going to put everything together in this video. So I think we're going to be able to have time to fit everything in. As you know, I've done all these other characters for you guys, and I will leave them in the playlist at the end of this video, so go check that out. Always, and also clicking that notification bell, you'll be notified for future characters. I haven't Dollar Tree's not gonna be making any more characters, I believe, so I actually have found some characters that you can get on Amazon that are going to be really cool and cute to do, so look out for those videos. Okay, so let's start right off the bat. Step 3, we have 3 rows and they each have 6, so that's going to be fairly simple. As I do with every video, I'm going to show you how to do every step so you don't have to go back to any of my older videos. And each step is going to start pretty much with a magic circle unless it says otherwise. So once you learn this magic loop, you can pretty much do most of these kits. I know that the Dollar Tree is one company that makes them. There's many other ones, so it's not limited. You'll be able to do other brands as well. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to grab your strand here, and we're going to want to wrap this around your finger twice with a little bit of overage, and you're going to take your middle finger to clamp it down. Then you're going to take your hook that they provide you and stick it under 3 strands. You're going to pull it back out, but you're going to pull this 3rd strand underneath these 2. So go ahead and do that. Make sure the hook hooks onto that strand, drag it underneath, and now you have kind of like a loop. So what we're going to do here is we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull that through the loop. And we pretty much closed off our magic loop, so you can remove this off of your finger and everything should stay intact. And just in case I didn't mention, this is for left-handers. If you look in that playlist, the first videos that I did are with right-handed, but this is the second time I'm doing it, so the steps are going to be probably clearer this time around than they were the first time. Also, just before I forget, if you click on the gear button at the corner of your screen, you can select the playback option to do slower or faster for the video if you need it, whenever you need it. And then also you can click on the closed caption button and you can lower the volume in case my voice sounds irritating, because towards the end of the night, which it is right now, my voice will start to crack. It's a little embarrassing, but there's not much I can do about it. Alright, so now we're going to do the single crochets onto the magic loop. We have to do 6 of them, so let me show you how to do that. You stick your hook into the magic loop, yarn over, and you pull up a loop like that. Then you yarn over and you pull through both of those loops, and you've created your first single crochet stitch. Now we just have to do this 5 more times. Let me do this one more time with you. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2 on there. And we're just going to do this 4 more times. Okay. Now that we have 6 loops on here, we have to close the magic loop. So what I would do is, let's hold this like this. Okay. Pull this excess string. There's 2 strands here. We're going to see which one goes into the loop first. So gently hold the stitches back so you can pull on this. And you see that front one is going, this one right here. So what we want to do from this loop is pull it out from this side, not the top side, but the bottom side. So I want to pull that out so that this loop can go in. So it's better to do this way rather than just pull this out and hope for the best, because this will just start bunching up. This way you can make sure that every last bit of yarn gets pulled into this magic loop. You want to pull it till it's nice and closed. So now we can pull this excess string here to get rid of this loop. Okay, so now that it's closed, I'm going to count back 6 stitches and we're going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to put your hook into the front and back loops of the 6 stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull through all loops. Okay, and then I'm going to go take this piece of yarn here. It's going to be a different color yarn from what you're using, so you can tell the difference. And I'm going to just mark where we put our last stitch. So you want to put that right under the front and back loops, and then pull one end all the way through. And there you have it. We can move on to the next round. So this will be straightforward. It's another 6 single crochet stitches. So we're going to chain 1, because we do this for every round to get the height. And then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. You want to make sure they're nice and clean. If you hear or feel that your hook went in between a yarn, for example, if it goes through like this, that's not clean, right? You just want to make sure you get it all the way. You never want to go inside a thread, because also if you want to just undo your project, say you just want to take it all apart for some crazy reason. I do that all the time. That's what I'm doing now. That's why this thing is all not straight. If you end up putting your hook in between the threading, when you pull it apart, it'll be harder to untangle and remove the stitching. So it's always nice to be clean. Anyway, this is the last stitch. I have my marker here. You're going to remove that so we can put our do our last stitch, single crochet stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to count back 6 and I'm going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you see, it's already curling in itself, and like I mentioned in the last video, you want the prettier side to be on the outside, and you can tell that by how this excess is sticking out like this. So what we got to do is just invert this, and then you can tuck that excess piece inside, and then we'll move on to the last round. Kind of acts like stuffing too. Okay. Oh, but before we do that, I'm going to mark it again. Every time after you do a slip stitch, Just want to mark that last stitch you made so that if you happen to lose count of your stitching or made a mistake somehow somewhere, you'll be able to at least track back to where you started, especially when you're counting stitching. Okay, so now that we have that, let's do our last round. 6 single crochet stitches. We're gonna have to chain 1, and then we're gonna do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, remove the marker, 6. So now I'm going to count back 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do a slip stitch and then we're going to fasten it off, and according to the instructions on the back it says cut off about 5 inches away from the yarn. And then to fasten off, what you do is you yarn over, you pull it through the whole thing, and then you tighten up the knot, and there you have your first leg. You can try to stuff it if you want. I don't think I need to stuff it, actually. I don't know. It's just too small for me. So I might just leave it. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to be doing 3 of these off camera. So, and then I'm just going to move on to round 4. Or step 4. Okay, so now on to step 4. We're going to do the crocheted horn, and that is yellow. So I have my own yellow here. It's not the same yellow as you guys if you just open this kit. Again, I have previously done the unicorn for righties, and this is what it ended up looking like. But yeah, so we'll do the same thing. Magic loop, wrap it around your finger twice, hold it down with your middle finger there, stick your hook under those 3 strands, and then pull the hook back, pulling this strand under these 2, and then we're going to yarn over again and pull that through this loop. To close off that magic loop, you can remove it off your finger. Okay, so now it's going to say that we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. So let's go do that. Okay, like we do with every round, you want to chain 1 to get the height, and then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. Okay, so now that we have that, we can pull this excess piece here again, see which one goes in first. Right, now that we know this one is going in first, I'm going to pull this side out so that the other loop can pull in and disappear into the magic loop. And now that you see it's closed off there, now you can take the excess yarn and pull that to get that other loop into the magic loop. So now what we're going to do, we're going to count back 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're gonna mark this off with our yarn. I wonder, are unicorns always, they're not always white, right? There has to be brown and black, red, I mean not red, but you know, like a rusty color. There's got to be more than just white unicorns, right? That just doesn't sound right to me. Anyway, because I would rather use a different color to do the horse. I would like to do black, but it's going to be hard to see on a in camera. But yeah, I mean, even a pink one. I think when I was younger, my aunt had like this really beautiful miniature sized unicorn, and it was pink. The skin was like suede or velvet, so when you touch it, it feels like a horse. And then they had like little, like even skinnier strands of yarn in white, pink, and like a different, like a light pink, and that came down as the hair. I thought it was like the prettiest thing. Anyway, so I would do stuff like that. You don't have to limit yourself to what the picture shows you. Okay, so chain 1, we're gonna do 9 stitches. And so we have our chain 1, we have a single crochet stitch. So in the sheets, if you don't remember from the first part of the video, or you haven't seen the first part of the video, in these instructions they have an X with the caret up, meaning a decreasing stitch, and then we have an X with the caret pointing down, and that's an increasing stitch. And then on the other side we have a circle for a chain stitch, and then we have an X for a single crochet stitch. So that's what these things are in the rounds. So we have a chain stitch, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch. Okay, so we chained 1. We're going to do a single crochet stitch, then we're going to do an increasing stitch. So an increasing stitch is basically 2 single crochet stitches in 1 stitch. So put your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to stick the hook back into that same stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we're going to go back to our single crochet stitch, and then we're going to do an increasing stitch. Again, stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then into that same stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then we're going to go back to a single crochet stitch, and then for the last stitch we're going to remove the marker and we're going to do an increasing stitch. 1, 2. Okay, so now we're going to count back 9 stitches and we're going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Insert your hook into the 9th stitch, yarn over, draw through all loops. Okay, before we mark this off, let's just flip this inside out because it's starting to curl in, and tuck that piece in here. Okay, then I'm going to take the yarn and needle, okay, mark this off. So we have 2 more rounds left, 3 and 4, and we have to do 9 single crochet stitches, so that's pretty straightforward. So we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 9 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to count back 9 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I'm going to mark it off. Then we're going to do round 4, 9 single crochet stitches. So chain 1, One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So then I'm going to cut this off. We're going to fasten it off, yarn over, pull all the way through the loop, and then tighten it up. I find this strange because this horn does not even look pointier than a horn. I don't know. This you would definitely have to stuff. I am going to get my stuffing. Maybe I'll try stuffing the legs. It's just tedious because it's so tiny. But anyway, set that aside. We have one more body part left to do, and that is going to be the crocheted nose. So let me get some yarn for that. We're going to use the white yarn. Alright, so you're going to start off with the magic loop again. And the more times you do this, you're going to find that you don't even need the videos anymore to do this step. Alright, so for round 1, 2, and 3, we're doing 8 stitches, so that's pretty straightforward. So, chain 1, and then 8 single crochet stitches. Okay, make sure you have 8 stitches on there. 4, 6, 8, okay. So now I want to pull this again and work that magic loop. Alright, I want to count back 8 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to mark it off. Chain 1, 8 single crochet stitches, One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to flip this inside out, stuff this excess piece in there. We're going to mark this off. last row, chain 1, 8 single crochet stitches, remove the marker, okay, count back 8 and do a slip stitch, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to fasten this off. So now we have all the body parts. We have the head, the body, we have the forelegs, the nose, and the horn. So I'm going to just grab my stuffing. The kit comes with its own nice soft stuffing. I already used mine up, so I have my own stuffing from another project that I ended up not doing. So I'm just going to cut a little piece from what I have here, and I'm just going to try stuffing the legs. So I like my dolls to have a bit of firmness. So, but in your case, I would try to plan as best as you can to make sure that you don't use up all your stuffing and don't have enough for the other body parts. And on the same end, if you have leftover stuffing, to try to use it up to the body parts you need more stuffing at. Well, that worked out. Okay, so looking at the instructions. Okay, so they have you putting in the eyes, putting in the stuffing, and then closing off, I think. Attach the plastic eyes and stuff with fiberfill stuffing before closing. So I guess we're closing this. And how we do that is we are going to grab the excess yarn and slip it through the eyelet of the needle. And okay, not working out. Okay, and I'm just going to sew this in and out of the stitching. You can sew this any way you want. I'm doing it this way because I want to keep the shape of the head. Try to keep it round all the way. And then you just pull it closed. And then adjust the stuffing how you need it. Just to make sure this is closed all the way. I don't know. I'm just gonna stick it in the middle like that. And then I put it through the loop. Twice. And then I'm gonna pull it tight and cut off a piece to remove this off for the next body part. Okay, then I'm going to grab my hook, and I'm going to put this just below the surface of the body part, then pop up near that strand, and then we're going to just drag that inside the head. Oops, I dropped it. Then you can tell if that end piece ends up hiding. So now we have our head piece here. Now, it looks like we're attaching the head to the body. So I want to try to figure out a way to hide this piece. So let's say if this body part here, let's say if it can be like this, the head sits right on top of it. We can also hide this part here and just attach it like that. So I think that will work out. But they really don't tell you how to do it, so it's just pretty much how you kind of look at it and see what works best. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, we leave those excess pieces so that we can go back and use it to sew itself to the body part. So now that I know that I want to put my headpiece right on top like that, maybe this part can be like right where the underside of the chin is. And then you just pray for the best, because as you see here, I'm just going to take moments for each body part and just sew it in and out. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just gotta kind of look at what you're doing and adjust accordingly. That's all the advice I have. It's very hard to do sometimes, but if you didn't like a sew, you can maybe see if you can pull it back like I did. So just trying to figure out a way to... There's a big hole here just by how it's shaped. So I'm trying to figure out a way to sew this part of the head onto this body. I guess that we'll have to do. And once you get all the way back around, then you just have to find a moment to kind of do what we did with the head. So, again, put it through here. I'm going to wrap around this twice. I'm going to start pulling it. grab this, remove the yarn, and I'm just going to give it a little look, see which way I should be hiding the excess piece. So into the body, just under the surface of the skin, and I say that because you don't want to snag the stuffing and pull it out by accident. I've done that. Yeah, make that disappear. Okay, so now we have our body and our head. So it looks like we are stuffing the legs, the nose, and the horn, which we already did. And it wants us to attach the horn. It's crazy how they make you do everything opposite. I'll do it that way. Because I actually would want to put the nose first. But, yeah, fine, let's just put the head. I mean the horn. I don't know. My needle threading skills just went out the window. Okay. So now I guess we'll look at the profile. Here's the body, here's the head. We have to put the horn. And I say right here would be good. So here's the center of that. So I'm going to align myself with that and give it a look like top view, like you can see here. Just make sure I have that in the middle. And then I'm going to go back in and we're going to sew it. So now we have the body, the head, and the horn. It says that we're attaching the nose next. So, put the needle on. So just looking at the profile, I think the nose would be right about here. And we're going to look at this underside of the body to make sure that the nose and the horn are aligned. And we're going to start sewing. I have the nose on. It looks all right. Okay, so we have to touch the nose and then the legs. I mean, I guess I don't even know why I'm looking. That's the last bit left. So after I put the legs, I'm gonna do the eyes and then I'll do the hair, because I actually haven't decided yet what color I should use. I have this multicolored yarn. It's a single strand of yarn, and there's moments where there's the color change on there, so I thought that maybe that would look pretty cool, but we'll see. Alright, so I mean, I think that the legs would be a little hard to mess up, but I wouldn't say that, because heck, you can mess up at any point in this project. So don't jinx yourself. I don't know. I'm trying to tighten it and I did it the wrong way, so I lost where it was being tightened. So I feel like this isn't tight, but I'm just gonna tuck this in and call it a day. I just like having everything nice and tight because I don't want it to unravel. There's a million ways you can tie this off. Like, I'm sure there's got to be a better way than what I'm doing, but honestly, like, this is how I did it, so I'm just gonna have to hope for the best. One down, 3 more to go. So I think it's a little crazy, guys, that the first time that I did this unicorn for righties, it took 3 videos. All the characters the first time around, I think, took around 3 videos to complete. And that's a lot, because each video had to have been over an hour. So the fact that I am, you know, this is the second time around, but this is how many characters already that I have done. So the practice is making this a lot easier to do. And it shows by the length of video that I'm able to do this in. So I'm happy about that, because I don't like a long video, you know, and I get these videos are, like I said, over an hour, but at least I've condensed it down to at least 2 videos per character. So, I mean, people don't get, like, this is a lot of work. You know, I think there's this idea that for beginners, it's going to be simple, easy, and quick. Well, I think the fact alone that my videos are being searched for, and I will attest that these instructions are definitely not beginner friendly. The skill needed for these characters are not beginner friendly. So don't beat yourself up if you find that your character is not looking like the picture or anything that I did. It's gonna take a number of tries to get it. Two legs, 2 more, slowly but surely. feel like I should have put the legs a little higher. Oh no. Okay, so we're just gonna try to tuck them in close together like this. Hopefully it stands. It'd be nice if they did. So in case you are, I've never actually bothered, but since I'm kind of in the zone and I don't really need to think about it, if you are watching this far in the video, like and comment a horse of some sort emoji in the comments below. Then just a glimpse of what's ahead. I am going to be doing Marvel characters next. I found, and I did an unboxing in one of my lives, but I found this really cute Amazon kit, Marvel character kit from Amazon. I don't remember the price point, but it's strange because the package gives you the materials to make one of the characters, not all of them, but the booklet shows you how to make all of them. So I guess they're like, here, you can have some yarn for one character, and then you'll just have to go and buy the rest of the yarn for the other characters. So I think that's a bummer, but you still get to get the instructions for all the other characters, which I think is great because, you know, if you are a hobbyist of crocheting, then this will keep you plenty occupied for a while. I mean, sitting down here doing this, you know, obviously took me a couple of hours. So I'm sure with practice, those characters are not going to take too long for you to do. So I'm going to do that next. And then just to look into the other things that I'm doing, obviously, I started as a nail channel and never intended to be a nail channel. I wanted it to be like crafts and cooking and everything that I just do. And then it just evolved into a nail channel. But I am going to do a diamond dots picture. And eventually I'm going to do cross stitching. So just giving you a look ahead at what's to come, and I think it's going to be really exciting, especially to just, you know, if you just like doing crafts, to expose yourself to different projects. And that's how I ended up crocheting. You know, I'm just watching other people. And I was particularly watching my aunt when I was younger, and she taught me. So that's just how it happens, you know. And it's well worth it because I never had to pay for a scarf ever. And as you may know or may not know, if you go to a store, scarves for some reason are expensive. For a little strip of cloth, they are ridiculously expensive, and I've always knitted my own, and I've gifted scarves for other people, so that's savings right there. A spool of yarn, it can be anywhere between, you know, $5 to $15, and you can get X amount of scarves out of it, so I think it's pretty worth it. The best is when I teach other people to knit or crochet, and it's not just a stereotypical thing for women to do. I've actually trained my guy friends to knit and crochet, and it's a funny sight because you don't see that every day, but the look on their faces when they've accomplished something, when they've made something, it's the sweetest thing. So I have the legs, the body, the head, the horn, the nose, and it's not going to be standing up. It's too head heavy. Maybe if I add the tail, it'll stand, but yeah, does this one stand? Yeah, I think I position the legs better to where it can stand, and plus the head is not hanging over the body like this one is. But yeah, let me put the eyes on. Let's just keep moving this train and see where we end up. So I have some yarn here. It didn't come in the package. I just had my own yarn, and I put it in the package after I was done. Otherwise I would have to go scrounge for my black yarn. I have a tote filled with yarn, and it's not organized, just yarn thrown in a box. But yeah, so now what I'm going to do is sew on the eyes. And I want to position it to where maybe, I mean, it's kind of, you know, we'll go on an X. Oops. I am not faring well with this right now. Okay, so the eyes are in, and now I'm going to pick out a colored yarn for the hair, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, you guys, so let me just show you one of my favorite spools. I love greens. This has families of green, a little bit of minty, dark minty. I'm not good with names, but we got some teals, some aquas. So I'm going to be using this. And like I said, it kind of like changes in color. So hopefully when I cut this, it seems to color change every few inches. So that's great. Okay, so let's see. Fiber fill, stuffing, closing, body, legs, attach horned head. Okay, put the yarn passing through the plastic needle and put half the yarn into the hole and pull it through half of the yarn. Wow, that made no sense to me. Okay. The yarn will hang on the back side of the head. Repeat this step with all 4 colors. Use the same method and attach. Alright, well, yeah, I don't know. Put the yarn passing through the plastic needle and put half the yarn into the hole and pull through half of the yarn. The yarn will hang on the back side of the head. Repeat this step. Colors, use the same method to attach the tail. Okay, but then it's loose. But I guess you can tie it up. Alright, so now we just gotta see how long we want this. So let's say we have the tail back here. We make it this long. And we have to double it up because we are going to be putting in halvesies like this. And we can always trim it if it's too long. But let's try that. So once we find out a length where it folds, I'm going to cut it off. And then I am going to use the length to measure out the next piece. And it doesn't have to be perfect, so I'm going to fold it like this, right? So we're just going to keep doing one of these things. Just using the length and then folding it. And I'm going to keep doing this as many times as I need to have the thickness of the tail. If you wanted to check that thickness, you can always do halfway and then do one of that. I feel like it should be thicker because I love the hair, especially this color on a horse. And unfortunately, you guys, you have yarn already in the kit, and it did say, oh, just use all 4 colors. I have an unlimited amount really to play with, so I can do this. Make a nice full bit of hair. So let's say that's it, right? Okay, so now what we do is, okay, this is folded, right? I'm just going to start cutting these loops so that they're separated. And again, we can trim it to be even afterwards. So now what I'm going to do is pin the tail on the donkey. So let's do a couple of strands at a time. And rather than use this needle, which is a slow process, I am going to, let's use these two right here. I'm going to use my hook and slip it through a hole. I'm going to hold on to one end of this rope or yarn and pull the other all the way through like this. And then you don't have to, like it didn't even say. That's pretty much how they want you to do it, but I'm just going to tie them. I'm going to grab another pair. I'm going to tie some here just to give it some fullness. But yeah, I don't see this horse standing up on its own. It's too top heavy. So now that I have the tail done, I'm going to just chop off okay. Man, I wish this wasn't so top heavy. It's so sad it won't stand. Kind of got it to stand. Okay, same thing. Get your yarn, and we're going to put in the head for the hair. I don't like that brown is coming out right now. I'm going to grab the other end of my yarn here. It's only a moment too. Alright. I don't know if this will be enough, but we'll find out. I'm trying not to add too much hair because it's going to weigh the head down. You know, it's having a hard time standing up on its own as it is. So Maybe I should do one strand at a time, because it's not looking, it's like not folding as good as the tail did, but probably because it's shorter. Okay, now I'm going to calm this down. Alright, you guys. I managed to get it to stand, which is amazing. But here is my unicorn. And I love the yarn we used for the hair. So this is Crafter Square material. And this is mine. How cute. How cute is this, you guys? Versus the photo. Let's use this side because the other side doesn't look that good. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Let me know how you did. Let me know if you switched up any of the colors. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, you guys. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.